Yo, what's up, everyone? It's your boy, Jack Oates to Go. Even though you don't, thank you guys so much for clicking on whatever you clicked on to get to this video. Hopefully, you'll stick around and take a listen. If this is your second or third video, please do consider hitting the subscribe button if you like what you've heard so far. I am on my way to 3.5k subs on this channel by the end of November, so if you'd like to help me out with that, that's great. If you don't, that's fine. There's so many other cool YouTubers out there. But anyway, today I do want to talk about Charlotte for just a second here. This won't be an insanely long video, but I feel like Charlotte is one of those characters that is either under-recognized or over-recognized, but over-recognized and under-recognized for the wrong reasons. I haven't seen too many people talk about the subject that I'm about to talk about right now, and this is regarding her curse. Not saying that people haven't talked about her curse, but more so the implications and the background of what it means. You guys know what the channel's all about. Just really trying to dive as deep as possible into Tabata's mind and where he might be getting some of his ideas. So, just for a little bit of background, we know that Charlotte is supposed to have red roses. That was her natural magic, but then she got cursed while she was a child, and the person who put the curse on her says that by the time she turns 18, the curse will take full effect, and her family are going to be trapped in this cage of time. Now, the cage of time part makes zero sense as to what was supposed to happen to her, because in the manga you just see Charlotte losing complete control of her magic. So it's kind of odd that the verbiage cage of time was used, but of course that will come with, no pun intended, time. But once the curse took effect, Yami was able to break through the briars to get to her. He literally just stood there, put the mat down, and she fell in love, which was the prerequisite to stop the effects of the curse. However, she is still hindered by this curse, and her roses turned blue as a result. In Chinese folklore, there's a legend that talks about the blue roses and how it symbolizes honesty and just attaining the unattainable, essentially. But there's an actual story that I'm going to read to you guys, and it's called The Legend of the Blue Rose. So it goes as such. An emperor's daughter was to be married. Her father allowed her to give one stipulation for her suitors. She said she would marry the man who could bring her the blue rose. This discouraged many seeking her hand in marriage, yet some suitors were determined to win her hand. A merchant paid a florist to give him a painted rose. When he presented the rose to the princess, the paint dripped on her hand. "This is not a blue rose. I will not marry you," she announced. Another man threatened a man in his village to find him a blue rose. The man from the village carved a rose out of a sapphire. When it's presented to the princess, she replies, "This is not a blue rose. I will not marry a man whose heart is as cold as this stone." Another very cunning man asked the wizard to craft him a blue rose. The wizard gave him a box with a picture of an illusion of the blue rose inside. When presented to the princess, she reached her hand out to the rose to find that her hand simply passed through it. "I will not marry a man who is deceitful," she replied. Later in the evening, she told the gardener's son that she wished she could marry him. They trusted one another, and he was dear in her heart. "I will bring you the blue rose in the morning," he replied. The next morning, he presented the princess with a white rose. All pointed and whispered that it was a common white rose. The princess touched the white petals and replied, "This is a blue rose." The emperor gave his blessing, saying that if his daughter said it was a blue rose, it was a blue rose. The princess and the gardener's son were married, and they lived happily ever after until the end of their days. So that is the story and the legend of the blue rose. And I found it pretty interesting just because the prerequisite of Charlotte, of her curse not taking full effect, was to find true love. And another aspect of the legend of the Blue Rose is that not only does it mean to attain something that is unattainable, but the Blue Rose, it symbolizes also love at first sight. And this is exactly what we get with Charlotte and Yami. She pretty much fell in love with him as soon as she saw him. And I think it's kind of cool to think about, because you have to wonder why. Like, who's going to curse Charlotte, as, before she turns 18? She's not even a full-bred woman. However, when we look at the dynamics of the families in Black Clover, as we saw with Finral and Longreese, they had set up Finesse to be the suitor, or for them to be her suitor, since they were kids. So I'm thinking that if Tabata is really playing this Legend of the Blue Rose fairy tale, what I'm seeing is that Charlotte was approached by someone, or at least she was set up to marry someone, and she refused because she just truly didn't love this person. We know Charlotte as a character. She's very steadfast. She will not. She's not easily swayed. She will not go for things she does not fully believe in. That is her entire character, and I believe that's how she was presented, and presented herself. Even as a young woman. So if she was approached by a suitor and she said no, what I'm thinking is, first I'm wondering if that silhouette that we see of the person who cursed her was, number one, even a female. Because I did come across some information about blue roses that actually just pertain to dwarves. And if you look at the hands of this person, they're kind of abnormal. They're not demonic hands. And while it would lead us to believe it's a woman, because there's a lot of flowers and going on, it might not be a woman. Now, let's take that route. Let's say it is a woman. Who is this woman? Why does she care so much? And maybe this could be the mother of the suitor who tried taking Charlotte's hand in marriage when she became a full-fledged woman. And because, the reason why these families set up marriages is it's a game of politics. It's chess. So you want to marry into a family that has got what you don't have, and vice versa. So whether that comes down, for Black Clover context, to magic attributes, to just status, wealth, and all of that, or just straight up governmental positioning, it can be very important. And if a family denies you that, then yeah, you will get upset. This happens today, as a matter of fact, in some countries. So it is not abnormal or outlandish to think that this could be the case. But I did want to present you guys with just a little bit of things that I dug up on the Blue Rose. I think Charlotte has a very unknown role to this story, and I'm waiting to see what Tabata does. Tabata's left Charlotte pretty untapped, but fleshed out enough for us to even care about her. So, and we know Tabata isn't just a wanton writer. He doesn't just write people in and kind of leave them hanging. Especially with these captains, he's been pretty intentional about them. So, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Hey, we're under 10 minutes here, so let's leave it at that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Like, subscribe if you feel the need to. Help me out with my goals, please. That'd be dope. Hit me up on Twitter. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys stay safe, stay out the way. This has been Jack Goes to Go. You either know or you don't.